So I grew up as a Protestant. From the first person perspective, I obviously studied some theology, like Augustine, Aquinas, Gerard, of course. The issue is, I had the same experience with Buddhism. It has set up a problem of what the ancient skeptics called equipollence, right? That there are two competing and incommensurable theories or frameworks, and there's no way for me to choose between those. Mm-hmm. So my problem of religion is very different from the regular moderns' problem of not being able to believe, right? Where they don't find anything convincing. I almost find too much coherent.
I see this all the time in my one-on-one mentorship. I work with a lot of people whose theological intelligence outpaces their ability to land somewhere. And the real work isn't more study. He names his problem as equipollence. This was supposed to lead to a suspension of judgment, so it can in turn give you tranquility and peace of mind. That seems to be diagnostically correct here. Christianity, Buddhism, equally compelling. However, he is not tranquil.
I'm desperately trying to be religious for reasons that I won't go into. I'm very interested in the afterlife and what happens to us.
He says that he is desperate, which tells me that suspension isn't working. The frameworks aren't leaving him feeling free, they're leaving him frozen. And that desperation lives in the body and not on some reading list. And let's not skip over what he said at the top before it was buried by intellectual framing. He is interested in the afterlife. He wants to know if it will be okay when he dies, whether or not he will be held. That is a question for survival that is driving everything else. And that brings me to two paths I would explore with him. 1. Describe the God that made equipollence a problem. What if you don't have to choose? What if the fact that both claimed you is the most important data point that you have? What if being held between two traditions is your spiritual position and not your spiritual paralysis? It feels like a kind of cruciform stretching where the sacred actually lives. Both traditions actually answer his questions about the afterlife. Buddhism says the separate self dissolves, but you're not annihilated. Christianity is most likely telling you that you are resurrected and held. Both say you don't disappear, you are not abandoned. What if you don't have to choose between those two promises? Path number 2. The way you're describing this tells me that which theology is more logically consistent is just not the right question for you. And I wonder what your body has already chosen. What is under that desperation? When you take the Eucharist, what happened? Not what you thought about it, but what happened to your chest, your gut, your nervous system. And when you imagine dying, what language comforts you? When you are afraid, who do you pray to? Not who you think you should pray to. What does your body cry out for? The work is what happens when you sit at the feet of desperation itself. Witness your God and consult its teachings. I am Connie Chen, and if this resonates, you can book a free introductory call with me. The link is you know where.